Now, this great venue has hosted some memorable playoff games over the years, and these Bear fans are hoping to make some new memories today at Soldier Field in Chicago. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. They'll start with Davis Price on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And Lance now to throw. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. They'll give him 4 yards there. And 3rd and 8 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On play action, Lance. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal of how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time.
The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
On play action, Fields. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Fields. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Bears have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Get the crowd goes. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Second down, here's Davis Price. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gets it out wide to Davis Price. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at about the 14. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
From the 50, here's Fields. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Well, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens. Although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams are just...
Well, Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Rashaan Evans. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles. But that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters. But in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a hole to avoid the contact. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. They find some open field here. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run with Montgomery. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. On 2nd and goal, Fields got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Mike Gesicki, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, and they go right back to Davis Price. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Off of play action, and here's Lance. And he'll just get rid of it.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Going for it, here's Davis Price. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And lost 2, brings up 4. Here's Paul Gall, now to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Off play action, Fields. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields looking downfield for Jones. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Fields now to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Lance. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Here's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Lance. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And they'll work this down inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's Mitchell. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Lance looking to throw it. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 54. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. He continues, tries to be under constant pressure. These sacks are starting to pile up.
If they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 2nd and 8. Here's Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now Fields. He'll let this go for the end zone. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows in a group for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Lance. He gets this one to Davis Price. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Lance. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. Chase Claypool. Touchdown, 49ers. Chase Claypool, 73 yards. And the 49ers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Looking in zone for Jones. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it.
Pass complete. Now race for the marker. He'll get it inside the 20. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
49 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
We have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now they'll run the option to the short side left.
Fields hit and the ball is loose.
And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On play action, Lance.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long.
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 14. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Fields looking downfield for Jones. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap, Fields. Got an open man, it's Pringle. And out across midfield, down to the 45. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Looking downfield for Jones. And this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Read option, here's Montgomery. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 87 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outline. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident throw.
And now here's another interception.
Knocked down by Chandler Johnson. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had troubles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there. 38 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
Lance now on first down.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel. 42 yards.
And the 49ers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line.
A dangerous return man showing it here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 66 yards.
Well, I'm not sure how this drive's going to separation there. A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Here's Fields on the sneak.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Bears are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead.
Santos now to add the PAT. To the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 10. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On the counter, Davis Price.
And he's got some space here. Taking it right down Broadway. 20. Touchdown, 49ers.
Ty Davis Price.
72 yards.
And the 49ers are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. He has been an integral part of the offense all season, and now in the playoffs he's carrying it over. Had the touchdown last week in the wild card game. Now his 2nd TD of the playoffs.
Showing some consistency, and that's something that we have to keep in mind about the playoffs, because we often think you have to be spectacular in order to win. I think consistent is what you're looking for. That can get you to the finish line.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
He's got a man, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up the 1st and goal.
Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football, and this is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Well, they're uncomfortable here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because
touchdown Bears! David Montgomery from 10 yards out. And the Bears add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but the good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. Now it's a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Just for baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Desperation time here. Lance. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Lance. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Again, it's Lance. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Completion here to Claypool. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. And they'll go for it. Lance. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Here's Lance. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Lance. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 14. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking downfield for Jones. It got his man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the point after try for Santos. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. He's got it at the 10. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown. Chase Claypool with his second touchdown of the night. And the Niners are able to claw one back.
And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember. At least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have all but booked their ticket to the NFC Championship game next weekend, and they'll look to finish things off here now in this fourth quarter. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
On 2nd and 11 now, Fields. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, the Bears will fire up another